Tom Kelly, Devan Kaney in for the morning show today. And just hearing that return there, we'll have to dissect this in further detail a little later on in the show here. But, and I'm sure you guys discussed it yesterday, but this video of Seltzer, I mean, trying to break the table.
I mean,
a bad look.
Has James spoken? He has.
He was on the afternoon show, I believe.
Yeah, on the afternoon show.
They got a whole. Did he defend himself? Did he?
There is no defense.
Did he own it?
It kind of felt like he owned it, but it also felt like he was trying to explain himself and maybe not make an excuse. I have to listen to it again because I think he kind of wore it. You know, he just kind of said, you gotta
wear it. You gotta wear it at that point.
He decommitted midair.
Dude, if you're jumping through a table, you need to jump through the damn table.
That is the perfect way to describe it. He decommitted midair. It was like, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. And then you could kind of tell it was just like a little roll, essentially.
It looked like when you're going to cannonball into the pool, and then you're like, I think this water's going to be too cold. Yeah. You don't want to do it, and that's exactly what it looked like. It was sad.
The best part was that he was like, he's like hyping up the crowd before, and everyone's like, yeah, and then it was just kind of a disappointed, like, oh
man, Hugh really ripped him yesterday.
Yes, is James okay?
I think he sounded okay on the afternoon show. He was laughing and saying, again, he was like, look, I didn't do enough research and I didn't realize, when you got to jump through a table, you really got to jump through the table. And he was breaking it down. He said, I didn't think about the fact that I need to jump into the middle of the table and break the table. And there was a lot of things going on in his head as he decided to jump. Well, I don't know.
Well, we'll have to talk to Elliot about this because this is a bad reflection on Elliot as well. I mean,
you think
this is because their podcast. This is a bad look for the Go Birds podcast brand.
Go Birds.
Like, I mean, this is your thing. You guys are huge Eagles fans and stuff like that. And I know Elliot's an objective reporter, but for James, not a good look.
Yeah,
it's not a good
look.
So,
fair point. Not a good look.
We'll get to that later on as well. 215-592-9494. But want to know what you think the Eagles should do this week. Should they play their starters or should they rest going into Week 18? Rams lose last night, so the possible opponents, if the Eagles are 3 seed, have been narrowed down. If they are the 3, it would either be the Rams or the 49ers. If they're the 2, they'd play the Packers. So what do you do if you're Nick Sirianni? Again, we'll talk to Coach coming up a little later on at 8:40, ask him about that, as well as everything else that went on in Buffalo this weekend. So you want to get in, you are welcome to. But we do have a cool giveaway for today. And our giveaway today, a pair of tickets to see the Eagles this week, this Sunday, 4:25 at Lincoln Financial Field, courtesy of NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. And the Eagles play in Washington this week. A rivalry that I'd say has heated up the last couple of years, really last year and this year, more than it has in, a long time. And let's be honest about what Washington is. They're like the ugly stepchild of this division, essentially. Like, that's what they are. They're the least sexy team. It's the Eagles, it's the Cowboys, it's the Giants. Washington, they're that team. Okay, they had a nice little run in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
They've been irrelevant for a long time. And last year, they have this one good year, and it's like, they acted like they've been on top of the league forever.
That's why their run last year pissed me off so much, because it reminded me of the Mets when the Phillies played them in the postseason in, 23, where like, it really reinvigorated my hatred for them and the divisional rivalry, because the Mets had just been kind of irrelevant for so long. And then all of a sudden, they were good, and then they knocked out the Phillies. And I was like, wow, I really forgot how much I hate Mets fans, but not even to the extent that I forgot how awful Commanders fans, or not even forgot. I don't know if I ever realized, because like they've always been kind of irrelevant. Well, they haven't really been a team that we're like they're just there. You're right. They're like the ugly stepchild of the division. Like, they're there. They're not the Cowboys. They're not the Giants. They're just there in their crappy stadium.
At least they had that Hard Rock takeover from that guy Tailgate Ted.
Oh my
when
God!
They flooded
Never
the Hard
forget.
Rock and thought they did something like important. But I wanted to, as we try to ramp up the hatred for the Commanders, what's your most hated Commander / their former name? Who's your most hated player from that franchise? Could be a player, could be a coach, could be, a front office person, anybody associated with the organization. You can go back in time as far as you want, but the best answer at the end of the show, you will win a pair of tickets to see the Eagles and the Commanders. What could be a very important game, will be an important game, without question, just matter of whether the Eagles play their guys or not, but you can win a pair of tickets. Give us your most hated, person associated with that franchise, 215-592-9494, and I'll start with mine, and I'll go back. This is like early 2000s.
Okay.
But, we usually do this with the Giants, Cowboys. I think we could get some unique answers with Washington. And they had a cornerback, Fred Smoot, who this guy just talked and talked and talked. I think now he does a podcast with Barstool or something. He was just so annoying. I couldn't stand him. That's mine, Fred Smoot. What do you have, Devin? Who's your least favorite Commander /
This
former
is
name?
tough. I'm trying to think. I might have to defer to Lewis so I can fully decide here. Lewis, who
what
do
you
you
got,
have?
Lewis?
Yeah, this one's a current one. It might be a haymaker, but I'm going to take it off the board so people have to be creative. I'm not a big Frankie Louvu fan.
That was good.
Is that who you were going to say?
Yes,
I'm
that was
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Why did you defer to me?
Because I was like, I feel like there was someone better from the past that
I'm
I
sure
could have
there
gone
is.
with, and I almost didn't want to give Frankie Louvu that credit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he is the worst. I don't know if the TV cameras caught this, but there was actually a moment in the Commanders game, the Saturday game a couple weeks ago. Frankie Louvu went up to Nick Sirianni, and I know Nick Sirianni, and he's a competitive guy, but he didn't start this at all. And I don't know if it was friendly or what, but it was just really weird and inappropriate seeming by Frankie Louvu, and he just constantly seems like he wants that smoke. And I can't stand players like that.
He's an interesting guy. I don't know. He plays with a certain type of grit, but I think he takes it to the wrong level.
All right.
You know what I mean?
The cuts of him flying over the Eagles O-line last season in the NFC Championship game, just over and over again, until the refs literally had to be like, if you do this one more time, we will just give them the touchdown. I promise. It might be one of my favorite moments from the postseason.
Well, you guys could both go with Frankie Louvu. I mean, that's fine. Unless you want to go with something else.
I feel
Your
like
call.
there's someone else that I need to. My brain isn't fully working right now. But
There's some good ones.
I'm gonna think of someone. Can I think
Sure.
about this and you can come back to me?
Take your time.
Okay.
Take your time. Everybody be creative, but think back. Washington franchise could be a player, coach, front office person, maybe even higher up in the organization than that. So you want to get in. You can give us your answer, and you'll be entered in, and the winner will be announced at the end of the show to win a pair of tickets to Eagles Commanders coming up this Sunday, 425. So you want to get in on that, you are welcome to.